It's the Owl Show, bringing my love from me to you. The Owl Show, help me help you to help me help you. The Owl Show, bringing my love from me to you. The Owl Show, help me help you to help me help you. Hello, everyone. Hello, Micah.
Hey, Oz, how's it going?
You are performing ground control duties today?
I can attempt to.
Or are you giving us special comments?
I'll do whatever.
Okay. Well, we'll see what Liam wants to do. He might be ground control. Gigantic Android says no sound. Yeah, no, I've got it muted for the moment. We don't need to listen to them carry on about nonsense. I'll pull them up on the full screen when we're a bit closer. How long have we got? 17 minutes. So, yeah, they're just venting steam at the moment. So, who's in here? We've got Bogdan's in here.
Hey,
How's it going,
Bogdan.
mate? DM is in here. Says, yay, science. Amit Reina, all the way from Indonesia. How are you, Amit? Squisher420 says 20 days Oz TikTok. Yeah, Micah. So what do you think is going to happen in 20 days time?
A whole lot of nothing.
Right. That's a bit disappointing.
Well,
I would have liked to think that the my disintegration or death or ending or whatever my ending is going to be would be a bit more interesting than that. DJ2K Comics says, oh shit. Berserk Guts is in the house. It's Liam Oz. It's gonna be Liam Micah Oz, the holy trinity of Spurgality. What can we call it when we're the constant targets of Spurgness?
Sperg magnets?
Spurgmagnetics. Auga 777. Why so early, my friend? Well, ask NASA. I asked them to delay it for a few more hours so that it would be in line with my stream schedule, but they declined. And what's that all about?
They're anti-customer.
Yeah, exactly. Listen to our voice. Tolfer's here. What's going on? You just copy and pasting that from stream to stream. No one knows what's going on ever. Purple Brain. Hello. Better than Ron Mars.
Not really a high bar, though. Is it?
Auga 777 says, don't have Testy on ever again. Well, let's see what, we'll see what happens after 20 days. If I might not even be here after 20 days, so it might be a moot point, but we'll just give him a 20-day break.
Are you watching this from the hot tub, Berserk?
Yeah, I'm a little envious of that.
Yeah. He's got a pretty good setup there. Could you imagine? Do you reckon who do you reckon are dorkier? These guys or comic book nerds?
I bet there's a lot of crossover. I wonder if there's a
Right.
comic skater in NASA. That would be interesting.
I'm gonna try and get this. I might try and watch this on YouTube. Hang on. Just to get a better aspect ratio. So do you want to update the chat where you're at the moment, Marco?
Oh, with 3 nights, absolutely. We are 4 away from 270, and we're about less than $500 away from 16 grand. And once we get to 20 grand, we plan on having Vinny Tartamella do a cover that's going to be an homage to John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness, which was one of my inspirations for the book, oddly enough. And we got about 10 days left. And after those 10 days, if we go in demand, the Get a Sketch and Be a Cultist tier, which is the drawn in tier, those will be going away forever. So if those interest you, I would, you got about 10 days to pounce on that.
$12-minute and 50-second countdown. So what would your characters do if they're in on Mars?
Suffocate and die. You ever seen Total Recall? I don't, now that I think about it, of all the books that I have planned, I don't think I have anyone that can survive in space yet. Like, I haven't created a superhero that can do that quite yet.
Yeah, Brother Gaius. So I had to press like at least 5 buttons to get this guy. The SJW crowd in my audience is complaining that there's not enough diversity on the launch panel. That's right.
It was similar to what my article today was about that I just finished writing.
Amit Rena has a good question. Do you think it will crash?
Well, I hope not.
You never know. You just never know. I mean, I'd like to see this helicopter flying on Mars, but equally, it could explode. It's like, this is NASA, man. So, what do you know about this rocket?
Not a whole lot. My focus on the news lately, admittedly, has not been on anything with space. It's been a lot of like down to earth stuff.
Oh, look, they're giving us a COVID-19 ad.
Oh, goody.
And NASA's giving us a COVID-19. How to work safely during this pandemic, everyone. We managed to get a rocket to Mars. You can too. Come on, everyone. You can all join together to work safely. Look at us. We're building a rocket and we can work safely. You can too. Make sure you're all social distancing. Make sure you're wearing a mask.
Generally speaking, if I would hope that a bunch of scientists would figure that out.
We can all work from home. I don't see what the problem is. Why can't you work from home?
I would figure that, yeah, a lot of the logistics you could probably do from a work-at-home environment.
Oh, we've got a sanitation. This is our normal workwear, fully covered.
Uh-oh, those desks aren't 6 feet apart. Shame, shame, shame.
Yeah, Mr. Wonderful's got it sorted. Great. So now in 6 months, Mars will also have COVID-19. Maybe COVID-19 came from Mars. You know, that's always a possibility. All these
Like a
damn...
reverse War of the Worlds?
Well, no, like all these damn viruses can originate from outer space. They don't necessarily have to originate from Earth.
I wonder if there's anybody in the chat that doesn't understand that War of the Worlds reference.
Dude, it's like our entire audience is made up of like 40-year-old white dudes.
Fair point. Did I
And one
happen to
woman.
call the Rush Limbaugh show the other day? I did not, no.
Hello, Lydia. Berserk Guts can pull wire from home. Yeah. Just send your little robot. No diversity in NASA. Yeah. NASA Rabadi. How can you spell NASA wrong, Amit? It's a difficult task. It was better back in the day when everyone in mission control smoked 3 packs a day. Yeah. That's true. There we go. Superman, Clark Kent on screen. And Lois Lane there. She got a horse and buggy? Or is that the model of the rover?
I think it's the robot.
Why is it so gay looking?
I don't know. It almost looks like a chariot with no horses.
Why can't we send those really cool, like, dog-looking ones?
I don't know.
Where the hell is Liam? He's going to miss the fucking launch.
Yeah, he was excited about it earlier.
Liam. Hurry up. Ground control to Major Liam. But yeah, I'll be there. This will be great. It does sound like you were saying NASA. Well, how else would you say NASA?
No, I think a lot of it's just your accent.
How would you say NASA?
NASA or Nasser?
Okay. Well, that's how you would say it.
Pretty much.
I say them both the same way, NASA and NASA.
Yep.
Whereas you say NASA and NASA.
Yeah, pretty much. I give it the hard R.
That's clip it, send it to Ren.
As if I haven't given her enough ammunition. Oh, that's hilarious to me. I sent it to my editors. They thought it was funny too.
What did they say? Tell
They
the
just
chat
laughed.
tell the chat what it's about.
Oh, so for those who don't know, Renfamous thinks I am a racist Russian bot because I said the 1619 project is bogus, which it is. And what else was it? And that the federal government shouldn't have to fund schools that want to teach it. So,
is that similar to the 369 Lazarus project?
369 Lazarus. The only Lazarus project I know is my own book.
Pilgrim Media for $2. Thank you so much, Pilgrim. I'm glad you could join us today. It's a bit earlier. Does that help you out, does it? I'm going to video the launch from my porch.
Interesting.
Are you really that close, Pilgrim? That would be cool. You should I'm just trying to work out what we could do. if Pilgrim could join the stream and then he could film it, but then he wouldn't be able to see the chat. But then I guess he's not seeing the chat if he's filming it anyway. I don't know. I got to think about that one a bit more. Auga 777 says 1619 is revisionist trash.
Yep.
I've got damn it, Micah, do your homework. I don't even know what you're talking about.
So the 1619
I'm an
project.
Australian. Yeah.
The basic gist of it is it's historical revisionism that basically says that the country wasn't founded in the 1700s. It was in the 1600s because that's when the first slave arrived in America. Basically saying that like the whole country's founded purely on slavery, which is just not true.
Right. So they just ignoring the Mayflower and all that.
Pretty much. They ignore that like there were states that were starting to repeal slavery just as the country was actually starting. I think it was actually Vermont was the first. And it was right around the ratification of the Constitution, if I recall correctly.
You'll have to forgive me if my
Oh, he muted himself.
Oops, sorry.
You back?
I moved positions and then my mic went dead. So yeah, you'll have to apologize. You'll have to forgive me if my American history isn't quite up to scratch.
Don't worry, I'm not going to hold it against you.
But
yeah, so because
what's going on, we encourage you to stay with us for the rest of the show. There's a ton more content we have to bring you, and we are far from over. Want to emphasize that the countdown to Mars is not done at 0 today. The countdown to Mars ends in February when Mars 2020 safely delivers Perseverance and Ingenuity to the surface of the red planet. So we're going to let you listen in now and enjoy the last couple minutes of the process of launching a rocket.
Thank you. Couldn't wait for those guys to shut up.
1 minute 59.
Vehicle internal.
1 minute 55.
Launch sequencer start.
Where's
1 minute 50.
Securing Centaur LH2.
Securing Centaur LO2.
Where's
So
Liam?
there we heard the fueling is
1
wrapping
minute
up there.
40.
Yep, fueling is wrapping
Launch
up.
enabled.
Team is gone.
137.
Launch enable's done. Launch conductor sequence is ready to go. They're getting ready to turn the vehicle over to auto sequence at T-minus 31 seconds. So that's a big thing that they're getting done here. At T-minus 25 seconds, we will hear the team give their final goes that everything is ready and
1
the
minute
launch
20.
vehicle is ready to lift off and perform this mission.
SCS count started.
1 minute 15.
Produce CCS for launch. Roger.
1 minute 10.
Then valves locked.
It's pretty cool. JC3 says, what are they sending to
1
Mars?
minute.
They're sending 2 Sperg
Range
robots.
status.
Range green.
That's good to hear, Joshua, right
That means
there.
Public safety.
Yeah,
there
one of them
on
is called
the FCS
Sketch.
system. There you see on your screen a beautiful shot. The skies look great.
So just in case there's
little wind,
any actual
happening,
Martians,
you'll
we'll
be able to
just
see more
annoy
of
them
the
to death.
venting. If there were wind, the trail of that venting. So we're ready to go.
And actually, that's an
40
important
seconds.
point. The reason we don't see that
Stable at
venting is
step
the
3.
vent valves have been locked up to put flight pressure into the tanks. And as we just heard, they're stable at step 3, which means the tanks are ready to go. And here at about 5 seconds, we will
28
hear
seconds.
the team
ECS reduced for launch.
give their final go.
25 seconds.
Status check. Go Atlas.
Go Centaur.
Go Mars 2020.
There we go. We're ready to go lift off this morning, Joshua.
Awesome.
8, 7, 6, 5,
5.
4. Engine ignition. 2, 1, 0.
2.
Release and liftoff as the countdown to Mars continues. The perseverance of humanity launching the next generation of robotic explorers to the Red Planet.
And Atlas TU has gone to closed loop control. Coming up on 30 seconds.
Weirdest thing about all of this is that there is somebody on this earth that this is mundane to. Like, this is just Thursday to them.
5 is now supersonic.
That's one big rocket guy.
And passing 45 seconds into flight, vehicle is now passing through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. And passing 1 minute into flight, the RD-180 is throttling back up as expected. Engine response.
It's like a missile.
At this time in flight, the SRB chamber pressures remain nominal. The RD-180 pump speed and fuel injector pressures are responding well to
You know what's
the
funny?
engine.
In about 20 years, people are going to be
Standing by
denying
for
that this
SRB
even
burnout
happened.
shortly.
There's probably people denying it right now.
Yeah, somewhere Alex Jones is going, this isn't
And
real.
burnout on all 4 SRBs. Burnout pressure signatures look good. Standing by for SRB.
It's not really going to Mars. It's actually just chemtrails or something like that.
They're going to blow the first stage. Here it goes.
And we have a good indication of SRB jettison of all 4 SRBs. And the vehicle has gone to closed loop guidance. Vehicle body rates are responding nominally at this time.
I wonder if they can use heavier thrusters because it's just robots.
Maybe so.
And coming up on 2.5 minutes into flight, the RD-180 is throttled down slightly as expected. Engine response continues to look good. At this time, the vehicle is 50 miles in altitude, 85 miles downrange, traveling at 6,000 miles per hour.
That's pretty fast.
And the Centaur reaction control system is now pressurizing to flight levels. And just past 3 minutes into flight, the RD-180 is now throttling to maintain a constant 2.5 G acceleration limit for payload fairing jettison. Engine response and vehicle acceleration look good.
Did anyone see the
good
mouse?
indication of payload fairing jettison and Centaur forward load reactor deck jettison. And the RD-180 is throttling back up to attain a 4.6 G acceleration. Engine response continues to look good.
Look, Ma, I'm in outer space.
And Centaur has begun the boost phase chill down sequence to thermally condition the RL-10 for operation. Standing by for BECO shortly.
BECO's the call for
speed on that is
booster
unreal.
And we have
No,
BECO
no.
booster engine cutoff. Standing by for stage separation.
Oh. That's cool.
And we have good
Oh,
indication
yeah.
of Atlas Centaur separation.
I almost feel like Thus
Scraping
Spake
my
Zarathustra
we
should
have
be
the
playing in the
map
background.
RL-10 operating parameters look
Yeah.
good. Chamber pressures are stable.
Why is the rocket moving around?
This will be the first of 2 burns for today's mission. This first burn will be approximately 7 minutes in length.
So, Mick, that's pretty exceptional footage there. That's live video. We will see that switch over shortly into an animation that kind of helps let us know what's happening with the rocket. But right there, a beautiful liftoff. Fun to feel that rumble in the building here as we proceed towards orbit and then towards Mars destination.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great watching an on-time liftoff of the
Yeah,
Atlas
Mr.
V
Wonderful.
with that
Got up
little
much
over 2
faster than the
million,
SpaceX
pounds
rockets.
of
Yeah, that
thrust,
thing was flying,
cleared
man.
the tower in
That rocket
roughly
was
5
huge.
seconds. Josh, you and I worked the
Was
InSight
SpaceX
Huge.
manned? I don't
all that
remember.
mission on the West Coast took about 17 seconds to
No,
get past
well,
tower. So with those
they
4
did do
solids
one
today,
man,
this
but
thing
they
really
also
got out of
did
here and on its way.
the Tesla
So,
car.
as we hear
Ah,
from
that's
Jesse,
right.
everything's looking nominal, and all
But
vehicle parameters are within the design limits. And,
all the
and we're getting
CubeSat
ready to come
ones
up
that they've
on
been
the main
doing,
engine start for that
they
first burn that Jesse was
they're
talking
much
about.
smaller.
Yeah, so recapping this countdown to Mars, the stations began to be filled up this morning just after midnight. Preparations, fuelings, powering up all the way through that liftoff.
Gigadeath
I think Mick
says, I
it
just
wasn't
saw Stanley
precisely on time. I
Kubrick.
think you said it was like
Really?
10
How was
milliseconds
he?
early. So it's pretty much dead on.
Yeah, dead on. This team does a great job. As I said, they're very focused, very disciplined. As Tori also said, courageous. They have done a lot of work to get us to this point today through this pandemic, changed how they did some of their work, made
Pilgrim Media
adjustments
for
as needed.
$2. Thank you so
A lot
much.
of
Says,
cleaning, a lot
I
of grease,
only
a lot of
got
wearing of
the
face masks,
contrail.
doing
Oh,
all
sorry.
kinds of things. And so this is an exciting time, not only for the JPL team
I think
in
he
Mars
means
2020,
chemtrail.
but everybody that's
I
worked
think
this
so.
mission, and for the country and the agency. So this is exciting to see. We still have a long way to go, Joshua, before spacecraft separation.
Yeah, we had a really quiet countdown today, which is phenomenal that we got off the ground on time. And we are proceeding now that we are in the middle of the first burn. It's tough to make out, but
confirming my
and it's
guess
firing.
that manned
So
rockets
we are
need to
in
go
motion. There you go.
slower.
There's that animation we talked about.
Now we're going to show you some dodgy animation because we're NASA and we can't get anyone to make us decent 3D animation.
The space tracking system. So there you
I
go.
mean, seriously,
this is not an
there's
actual video.
surely
but
there's got to
this
be.
is an animation.
We
that's
get
driven
better
by real
3D
data.
animation
So although
from
we're
our
not actually
fans.
seeing the engine on screen right
Let's
now,
say I
we
got
can see that the
better
engine is
animation
lit,
out of a
and that is driven by
PlayStation
the
1
data
game.
that says that the engine is
Yeah.
truly lit, and we're in this burn.
Yeah, the launch
What
vehicle
the hell are
continues
these
to send
geeks
telemetry
at
to the
NASA
launch
doing?
team via the TDRS network, as you mentioned, and that allows them to continue to watch what's going on and make sure all their sequence of events meet their timeline. We continue on a nominal flight this morning. This first burn, as we heard earlier, will be about 6 minutes. This will get us into that park orbit around Earth.
Well, Hung and Dung
allow
says,
us
this
to
is
get,
Oz's most
on our way,
interesting and
then
authentic
get into that
content.
approximately 30-minute coast
I'm glad you
period that we're
approve.
going to have.
8 minutes
You're a
into
hard man to
flight,
please.
beginning to see the Centaur PU system balance out mass errors.
Lord Craig
Seeing
Spencer,
very stable
they cut
body rate
NASA's
from the
budget.
Centaur.
You know,
So we've mentioned 5 teams at play, and although if you were watching,
They
hopefully
did.
you got a chance to see this in person. If not on
but
camera,
I could make
it's
something
easy to
better
kind
than
of say,
this in my
it's over,
bedroom.
like job done. But all 5 of these teams still very much engaged, still very much focused, because there's a lot of work ahead as we proceed through this first burn, and then a coast phase, like you mentioned, Mick, and then a second burn, and then spacecraft separation and the acquisition of signal from Mars 2020. So a lot more coming up here. Mick, I know for a launch services program, you guys manage the launch. So what does that mean? I mean, this is you guys' work in action right now.
By the way, that's the 5th team that we didn't get to mention. We talked about JPL, we talked about DOE, we talked about United States Space Force, and United Launch
Holger
Alliance.
777 says,
LSP,
content he is
we
stealing
are
from
like the
NASA,
brokers,
lol.
to select this launch vehicle and help manage this mission. So we get our
Yeah, but you
spacecraft
know, we're
customers,
adding
JPL
to it. We're
folks that come to
bringing,
us.
you
They have
know,
some certain
60
requirements that
new
they need for
eyes.
this mission. The launch services program made up of engineers.
None of you
and
guys would have
flight
watched this without
analysis
me.
folks, and they
David
look at
Bowser for
everything, they help
$2. Thank
define
you.
those,
Says the video
requirements,
is fake.
and
The
then we
Earth is
go out
flat.
and
Well, yeah.
procure
How do we
vehicles
know
from a
that this
commercial
isn't a
partner.
fake video?
In this case, it was the Atlas 541 for
We've
the
all
Look
been
at the
duped.
quality of their
20
graphic.
mission that was needed
Their
for
graphics.
performance.
They
Right?
could easily.
You and I have talked over the last.
Maybe that's
days,
it. Maybe
Josh,
they don't
one
want
of
to
the
make
things
the
that was
graphics
important for us
too
to
real
look at
because people
was
will
that
accuse them of
performance to be able
doing
to
CGI.
get Mars 2020 onto that transfer
Maybe.
orbit into
I mean,
solar
that
orbit
would
to
make
intercept Mars
a
in,
decent, like, that
7
would make
months.
sense.
It's kind of analogous to a football game, right? With a
There's so
quarterback
many
trying
stupid,
to
crazy
throw a
people
pass
out there that if
downfield.
we make
You need a
the
quarterback with a lot of
if we make
performance
this
who
section
can
too
get that
realistic,
ball
they'll
down
think
there
it's
where it
real
needs to
footage.
be, so the receiver can intercept that. In our case, 7 months later.
There you go. Yeah, it's the longest.
Well, given
football
my
pass
experiences
ever.
on the internet, I
Earth
can
is the
definitely
quarterback,
confirm there are quite a
the
bit of
Atlas
stupid
is the
people.
quarterback's arm. Perseverance
So
is
you
the
might be onto
football,
something
and
there.
Mars is the receiver.
That's exactly right.
And what we also talked about is that
But all people will say is
you could launch to Mars at any time if you had a rocket that was powerful enough.
they're
But this
making
is
us
the launch
think that by
period
putting a
every 26
stupid
months or so, as
animation
we
on.
talked about, that makes the most sense because you require the least amount of energy to get to Mars because it takes a lot to get there. Obviously, like the Atlas 541 is a workhorse.
Yeah, as Tori said, it's their Dominator.
There
Right?
you go.
I love that name for the Atlas 541. But we heard Jim Bridenstine, our NASA administrator, tell us that if we didn't make this launch period, we would be down for roughly 26 months.
It's
right?
tough.
So the period started July 17th and and goes August 15th. Today, July 30th, was one of those launch opportunities that we had. We had a 2-hour window, and within that window, we had several opportunities.
25 actually.
Yeah.
25 opportunities.
And we launched at the beginning of the window on our first opportunity to get Mars 2020 going on its way. And that, that sounds like a lot, and it is. The flight analysis.
Do you reckon Liam just fell asleep?
LSP, and
I'm starting to wonder.
did a lot of work to pick
I just
out those
DM'd him
target
too. I'm like,
sets
dude,
and
you're missing
figure
the
out where we need
launch.
to be. So they've done a great job, and we'll see how this mission continues.
So Mick, tell us
It
about
wasn't
the
that long
two
ago
birds
we were
required
talking.
here, and we're actually coming up on the end of the first one.
Planet Turbo
Ultimately,
says
a
good
lot of
morning.
people
I think he
probably, and
missed it.
myself included, at some point, just like, why wouldn't you just keep firing the engines? Just fire all the way through and get to Mars in one shot.
So the first burn gets us into that park orbit we talked about. We've
Pilgrim
lifted
Media
off,
for
we've
$2
left Earth,
again.
we've got
Thank
into
you.
a park orbit
Says
around
Oz,
Earth
Australia
right now.
has a
And while
major
we're in
tracking
that,
station.
park
Yeah,
orbit,
we've got.
we will perform some maneuvers to kind of roll Mars Perseverance and the Centaur.
Is it Homebush, I think?
And coast during that time, basically setting itself up looking
El
at the sun
Hombre
and away from the sun
from
to control the thermal
England
environments
says,
that are on Mars 2020 during this
G'day.
coast period.
What's
That
going
coast
on,
period
you
will allow
lot?
us to coast
Has someone
around,
launched a dildo into
the
space?
position
What?
that we need so that we can have that second
That's how
firing
Hombre
to
talks.
get the velocity needed
Fair
to head
enough.
off into Mars.
Yes, and
Maybe
we will
he's just a
be
big
back
Crocodile
for that second
Dundee
burn
fan.
in just under 30
No,
minutes
he's
now.
that. Sorry,
But
that
for now,
was
there's
my
more to learn
British
about this mission and
tough
all the
accent. You
amazing
probably
science that's
can't tell the
involved.
difference.
Daryl, back to you.
Back to our diverse table for their comment.
Thank you very much.
Clark.
Great launch and great job, guys. Back outside now to recap. An Atlas V rocket carrying Mars Perseverance rover launched on time from the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station at 7:50 a.m. Eastern Day.
Yeah, thanks for that, guys. Thanks for the recap. At
least it didn't explode.
Where is that damn Liam? All right. I'm glad that this launch went better than the last launch. Should I show them how the test launch went?
Might as well.
So earlier today, NASA had a test launch and it failed because they had another Sperg robot in charge. Actual footage from this morning.
Oh.
What'd you think?
Well, when it comes right down to it, you can't trust Spurs with rockets. It just doesn't work out.
Do you think that they've just got to use... do you think it was the retardation of the robot that they put in there for that one?
Maybe so. It's just a really bad AI.
Yeah.
It was too focused on YouTube content and Star Wars content creators.
James Hayes is in the chat, says, click on it. Why is it taking so long? Hey all, hope life is being kind to you. Oh, that's very generous, James.
Thank you. Today has been pretty good.
Yeah, Mr. Wonderful's got a good point here. He says Oz has better animation than NASA.
There you go. They should hire you to do the animation stuff.
My StreamYards is going really slow for some reason. I think my router's getting hacked.
Uh-oh. Hopefully it doesn't spontaneously combust.
Ironic that NASA is how Aussies say NASA. It's the same word, that's why.
That's an interesting question from Pilgrim Media.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it up on screen.
It's showing up on mine. It says, "Can spergs be reformed?"
Oh, okay. Can spergs be reformed?
I think so.
I believe so as well. I think all spurgatory can be temporary.
You just got to learn to relax. I think every sperg I've ever interacted with has been somebody who's very, very high strung, or just has nothing better to do.
Yeah, I think that there can be reformation. Why is the rocket flying backwards on NASA's animation?
I don't know.
Is there something going on that we don't know about?
I'm a little curious. Maybe there's something about the physics that we don't understand. That other simulation is just borked.
I think they may have fucked this simulation. Olga 777 says dongs, although he says dongs with an M. Were you really on that live stream yesterday, or was that a fake you? Yeah, Mr. Dongs, was that you on Incel Brothers 1 and 2?
Yeah, it says here, he responded, he says, "That was fake dongs, this is real dongs."
That doesn't clear it up.
I guess that just means that the Incel brothers are incapable of getting legitimate dongs on their show.
Well, if it was you, Mr. Dongs, congratulations. But you were a bit boring in that you talk too much about Ethan. You need to talk less about Ethan Van Sciver. That's the key to your. That'll be the key to your success. Think bigger or smaller. They need to stage separate still, says Berserk. I know. They got one more. There are two more burns. I don't know what's going on. They've decided to show us an animation to clear things up for us, like we don't know what's going on. James Hayes says, "You saying the Incel brothers made a fake Mr. Dongs to interview? Is that a terms of service violation?"
I don't know.
I very much doubt it. I could.
I don't think impersonation is against the rules.
Yeah, I don't. I can't see the real Mr. Dongs going on a stream and talking about Ethan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that if he did make an appearance on a show, that's what he would want to talk about.
Yeah, I think maybe. What do you think Mr. Dongs would talk about?
I would get the impression that he would be asking a lot of questions.
I'll bring it. I'm going to say, Mr. Dongs, explain to me what you were thinking about. Like, what would you talk about, Mr. Dongs? Mr. Dongs. I can see you're in here. You're not saying anything.
Chat's moving.
Oh, there you are, Mr. Dongs. So what would you think?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what his answer is. Says, what would I
So
talk
tell
about
me.
to who? Well, it's just sort of the hypothetical. Is if you were on a live stream, what would you want to talk about, if anything?
That's the question. That's the question I'm asking you, Mr. Dongs.
He's always struck me as an archivist.
You keep talking in the third person. Your biggest
yeah, my biggest
Micah's
fan,
biggest.
Alien Xenomorph.
No, he's Micah's biggest fan, not Mr. Dongs.
Oh, are you saying I'm Mr. Dongs?
Oh, look, everyone's favorite yes man, Micah. Thank you for your $2, Alien Xenomorph. So, Mr. Dongs, what would you talk about?
He says here.
Why aren't you answering me?
He says here, there'd be like a reason to go on to discuss something I found interesting going on in the CG, but CG is in a state of flux, so it's hard to come out with some relevant and concrete statements.
That sounds like you're fence sitting, Mr. Dongs.
How dare he?
I don't know why you keep talking in the third person. It's really weird.
Oh, okay.
Planet Tobor says, do you guys think they'll find a Sphinx on Mars? Yeah. What do you think?
I hope they find John Jones.
John Jones, what does that mean?
The Martian Manhunter.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Totally missed that reference. Pilgrim Media says, Spergs revolt. Spergs are revolting. Spergs revolt and we have to put them in a Spurgatorium. David Feed wants to know, when does the rocket explode already? Well, you missed the show earlier. You missed this morning's launch. So I'll have to show you this morning's launch again. Hang on. Luckily, we were there to film it. NASA's not showing it.
Oh, goodness. Oh, that rich bit again.
Alien Xenomorph for $2. Thank you so much. Says Micah the Grifter didn't ship with bags and boards. You know, he's got you pegged, man.
Yeah, that's true. I forget. I should have been more on top of it, but it is what it is. I have them now for everything that's left.
Where are you at with regard to your fulfillment now?
The last of the comics have been sent out, and then all that's left is to send the T-shirts and posters. We have to outsource for the posters, sadly, because our printer got broken. So In fact, I can show the bags and boards. Give me one sec.
All right. Planet Tobor TV asks, when is the robot scheduled to land on Mars? In a few hours? Yeah. You just hang around for a few more hours, Tobor, and we'll have the footage of it landing on Mars.
And there's the
What am I
shirts.
looking at? So what's on the shirts?
It is the slogan of the first issue, which is "Born in Blood," and the words form the lead character's face.
Cool.
Yeah, I have one myself. They're very comfortable too. And then of course I cut the sleeves off mine because this is me we're talking about. But yep, bags and boards have been bought, so everything else taken care of. And like I said, if people need a replacement, if something got damaged, just let me know and I'll get that taken care of for you.
What's your damage rate?
So far I've only had one person actually.
You've nearly finished.
Yeah, fulfillment's almost done.
How many packages did you send out?
Oh God, let me think. I'd have to get a quick number real quick here with me, just a second. It's pretty substantial. I think it's like 400 something.
So 400, and you've had one complaint.
Yeah, one, and I haven't even gotten an email that verifies it. So,
Alien Xenomorph for $2. You're so generous. Oz, can't you get a better co-host? Micah is boring. I tried to get Liam because he's not at all boring, but I don't know. What do you reckon happened to Liam? Let's speculate.
I would probably say that he either fell asleep or his dogs are causing a ruckus.
Oh yeah, do you want to tell him about what happened when we were in the back room together?
Oh, the cat. Yeah,
No, not the cat. The other animal that starts with a C.
Oh yes, the cow. I had a little bit of a culture shock when Liam says, "Yeah, there's a cow going down the street."
We could hear it in the background. He's like, "Can you hear that?" And there's this animal in the back going, "Roo, roo."
I'm like, "What the hell?"
The cow was running down his street. Alien Xenomorph for $2. Thank you again. You're so generous today. Micah thinks his lard arms make him look buff.
I don't look buff. I know I don't. It's a comfort thing.
You're a harsh critic, Alien Xenomorph.
Very.
Harsh
Goodness.
critic.
But yeah, 400 packages sent out. One complaint of damage so far, at least that's been brought to my attention.
So they're going to try and land this thing on an old riverbed.
Interesting.
That'll be interesting. Lord Craig Speck says, just mail a bag and board to all your backers. Problem solved.
The downside is that it would cost, the shipping would cost more than the bag.
What are you going to use to protect the back and board, though?
Oh, goodness.
I got my bag and board and it came damaged.
Sometimes you just can't win. There's been growing pains the entire time that Inglewood's been going on. So the good news is like all of the mistakes that have been made, I'm not repeating. So it happens.
Maybe Balls Cat got him again. Balls Cat came on.
I got to meet Balls Cat
and was harassing Liam. They might have attacked his balls again. Pilgrim Media, thank you so much. Says Liam went out to shit and the hogs ate him.
Oh, jeez. Be a hell of a way to go.
That'd be a terrible way to go. Yeah. I was taking a dump and some wild boars ate me. Ass first.
Ugh.
That rover's not very big, is it? This thing's supposed to collect up samples, like dirt samples, and then put them in these little containers, and then they're going to shoot it out of a rocket back to Earth.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think Gigantic Android misunderstood what I said. That's kind of normal for him. And not everyone ships in bags and boards. But for the future, I will be doing so for the sake of my customers.
Is that Ironheart trying to steal more Tony Stark, can't talk, tech? Yeah, she does look a bit like Riri, doesn't she?
A little bit, yeah.
I much prefer women to grow their hair out like that rather than put a weave in or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the whole weave scenario of wanting, you know, straight white women hair when you can have hair like that.
I don't know either. One of my sister, who, like me, she's adopted, she's black. She straightens her hair constantly, and I never understood it. It looked cool, curly.
I was watching a Chris Rock stand up, and he was saying that he was dating a white chick, and he was shocked because he was allowed to run his fingers through her hair. And he's so used to, like, his mum, his sister, his girlfriends, everyone just saying, you know, don't touch the hair. You can't touch it.
Yep.
It seems crazy to me that put yourself through that. It's like, you can't touch my head. Always worrying that your wig's going to blow off. So, Alien Xenomorph for $2 again. It says, I can't wait for War Campaign to leak Micah's DMs.
I didn't know War Campaign did that.
Yeah.
Well, if they leaked mine, they'd be pretty
I think
mundane.
they'd have someone. I mean, they're going to start leaking DMs. There's probably someone higher up in the food chain that they're going to want to leak.
Yeah, my conversations with guys in War Campaign pretty boring.
Yeah, let's just tune into what these guys are saying. Are they going to show us anything more interesting?
Let's see here.
We persevere. We keep striving. We keep believing.
That looks
From
cool.
space, we see our planet as a whole. We see the challenges facing it, and we face those challenges together.
I'll be right back.
We challenge convention.
Yep.
We refuse to accept the status quo. The time at hand is hard, but we will persevere. We can still draw hope from the moon and the stars, from space, from exploration. There is a new day beyond the challenges we face now.
Curiosity, insight, spirit, opportunity. If you think about it, all of these names of past Mars rovers are qualities we possess as humans.
10, 9, we have ignition sequence start.
But if rovers are to be the qualities of us as a race, we missed the most important thing.
3, 2,
perseverance.
launch commence. Liftoff. We have liftoff.
We are a species of explorers. We will meet many obstacles on our way to Mars. But as humans, will not give up. we will always persevere.
America, fuck
Our
yeah.
collective perseverance is what has gotten us to this day. And now
That's what that was.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool though. The
By the
animation
way,
was really cool.
I got comics in. I forgot to mention that.
Comics?
Yeah.
What kind of comics?
So this will be controversial, but whatever.
Man.
This is the only Dynamite cover I actually bought was Art to Bears because I thought it was the best one. So I got.
Oh, okay. Is that with his black and white?
Yep. His Vampirella is great too, and Kyle Ritter did the colors on this, and then it came. The package I got was with the Virgin cover and the black and white as well. So the black and white, and this is basically just to show, yes, Art Thibert is the best inker in comics possibly ever. So one of these I will read. The other two I'm just going to keep around as collectibles. So
Artie's Bear's supposed to come on this show.
That'd be awesome. Art's a great guy.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to DM him because he said to book him in, but I keep forgetting. So Artie, if you are watching this later or what have you, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. It's not just you, it's me. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep you on solo for that long.
You're good.
Victor doesn't like the inks. Victor, you're a very hard man to please.
Clearly.
Who? George Peppard. Tobias Tade, welcome to the show. Please subscribe. Who? George Peppard. I don't know. Who is George Peppard?
Never heard of him.
Brother Gaia says, Oz keeps forgetting who Art is. That's the problem. Could be. It could be, but no, I do know Art. I like his work from a long way back. Oh yeah, Dark Gift, you called it. It was a fake Mr. Dongs, apparently. The real Mr. Dongs is on our stream today.
Yes.
There he is. It took you ages to get that joke.
I know. I didn't see my name had been changed. Oh, jeez. But I just had a feeling that just showing those covers would probably get the rumor mill going. So, like, why not show them off?
Oh, what rumor mill was going to get going with those?
Oh, supposedly I work for Dynamite.
Oh, is that one of the rumors? Is it?
Yeah, it's a weird one.
I thought you're in partnership with me and Liam.
Yeah, I thought it seems to change on the day. Some days I work for Dynamite. Some days I work for Conquest Comics. You know, then there's the Russian bot narrative, and I don't know. It's weird. I'm apparently an international man of mystery now. That or people are just paranoid.
Pilgrim Media says, Oz, watch the Mars miniseries 2016. It's good. Okay, I'll give it a look. I've just been watching the new War of the Worlds show. Have you seen that at all?
No, I haven't. How good is it?
So it's like a British and Swedish joint thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's like it's really well made, but they keep going for really like hardcore emotional stuff, like killing babies and like little children, and like, you know, it's really disturbing, the stuff that they do.
So it's a really dark series.
Yeah, it's super dark and like unnecessarily dark. And yeah, so I can't recommend it, but So anyway, I'll be watching that, but I haven't watched the Mars thing on Netflix.
Okay. No, the one thing that I actually got into was One Punch Man. It's been recommended to me for ages, and I finally sat down and watched it yesterday, and it was pretty enjoyable.
Vasan Kasi, I hope you're doing well, Vasan, says, leave this snooze fest and go watch Morning Nonsense on Literature Devil. Don't try to steal my audience away, Vasan. That's not cool, man.
Goodness.
Lord of Damn says, what the fuck are you talking about, Oz?
Well, I guess if you're going over to Literature Devil, just say Micah and Oz said hi. I like him. He's a good dude.
What's his claim to fame?
He did a lot of very in-depth discussion on the character problems in the new Star Wars trilogy. Probably the best at it, to be honest with you. So, because he understands literature quite well. Thus the name of his show. So that was kind of his big moment. And he's a CG guy too. He has a book called Dr. Alpha on Indiegogo right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe he should come on my show. And I can find out about him. Let me just quickly Google him. Is it someone that I should know?
Well, he's been on Ethan's show a few times. I've been on there with him a couple of times. I think he's at like 100,000 subscribers. He's got a decent sized channel with respect to how big some YouTube channels can get. Of all the people in CG, he has probably one of the bigger ones.
$105,000 subscribers. Let's look at what his videos are about. Let's stop sharing this gay animation. Oh, no, I can't share that screen anyway. It's all right. I'm logged in. Can't share while I'm logged in. So, Morning Nonsense, 45 people are watching. Let's laugh at some work nonsense, Dr. Alpha, and fight censorship. What else? Why J.J. Abrams' mystery box is terrible and how to fix it. Are we watching movies wrong? Subverting expectations and the betrayal of Luke Skywalker. Right. So he doesn't put out very many videos.
No, it's he does a lot of long form stuff too. So when he does, it's pretty in-depth stuff.
Right.
But he's not so long like it's compared to Mauler. You know, I would rather watch a Literature Devil video than a Mauler live stream or something.
The last video he put out was 4 months ago.
Yes, it's been some time.
Yeah. Whereas before that, it was kind of like every month or so.
Yeah, a lot of what he's doing lately has been the Morning Nonsense instead. But no, he's a good guy. You know,
Perth Comics. Are you enjoying the early time slot, Perth? Oz is only interested in Lit Devil subscribers. Yeah. How can I get 105,000 subscribers?
That's a very good question. Strippers?
Tell me your secret. Did you know? All right, Victor's bringing up a good point here. Victor says, Dunringle. They do say Art Tiber, but it's Thibert, like Dilbert, not French like how you think. I've always said Art Thibert. And I thought, and like that's always been in my head until like this year. when I heard everyone saying Artie Bear. I was like, oh, I've been saying it wrong in my head this whole time. Maybe I've been saying it right. That's a bit awkward. I'll have to get him in and say, is everyone saying your name wrong?
I'm pretty sure it's T-Bear.
Pilgrim Media says, Oz, I wanted to move to Australia back in the 80s. I called the consulate. They suggested I visit first, lol. Well, I mean, yeah, you know, it's always a great adventure to take a plunge, but maybe you should visit first. But it's not like we're a third world country. It's not like you get stuck here or anything.
It's not like you're Afghanistan or something.
Yeah, or like Brazil or like, you know, I don't know, Argentina or something. How to get 150,000 subs. Apparently you buy them. I'm still waiting for my check, Oz. More excuses with Oz. Art's last name is indeed pronounced T-Bear. Everyone's saying different things. Mr. Dong says Thibert. Oh, look, Lord of Dams, he's giving me the secret. At Oz Art Creations, by making videos with 10 to 15 increments, and you got to make them interesting. Well, there goes my content. Saves live streams to another channel. Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that really is the case for the live stream.
I've got a different model. My model's different to that one. It's working okay. At the moment, I couldn't think of anything worse than who's this guy trying to fool? He's sitting in an empty office with a face mask on.
I'd say it almost looked green screened behind him, but I couldn't really tell for sure. Maybe it's just the camera sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. What nonsense is that? I can understand those dudes down there in the background having a mask on because they're surrounded by people, but this guy's in like an empty room.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, dude, do you expect me to believe that that when that camera's off, that you're not just taking the mask off?
I know, right?
Give me a break. We just had a huge outbreak here in Victoria, in Melbourne, and they've made masks mandatory for the first time.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the first time we've had it in Australia. So, because they don't want to go back into lockdown, so they're like, oh, let's try wearing masks and see if it works. But I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, here in Illinois, it's mandatory for us. Like certain businesses have it mandatory, but I don't think that my state has a mandatory mask rule anymore. I'd have to look it up. I actually haven't paid attention.
Yeah, Bird Gang. Hi, Bird Gang. Please subscribe. Says, it's like the people who wear a mask while driving in their car alone. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I caught myself doing that, oddly enough. I had just
I can imagine, like, if you just, like, you forget, you know, like,
yeah,
you're coming back from the shops or whatever. But, yeah, putting on your mask and getting into the car, that's a different scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Wonderful says, we've been in lockdown for 3 weeks, Oz. Yeah, but you know what I mean, Mr. Wonderful. Like real lockdown. Real lockdown like we had when it first hit, where you weren't allowed to go to work. No shops were allowed to be open.
Yeah.
Like only essential staff were allowed to leave the house, or you were allowed to go for short shifts to the supermarket, but the supermarket like had police essentially, like only letting a certain number of people in the store and things like that. Oh, Bird Gang says I'm already subscribed. Well, now that I know Bird Gang, I'll say welcome back. No need for a frowny face. Al Bundy is a big fan of Sweden's model. Well, it's different. Different countries are different. It's hard to compare countries. Like, I mean, it's even hard to compare the same different areas in the same country. It's like you can't compare where you are, Mr. Dongs, to California or New York.
Mm-hmm. So Sweden, if I recall correctly, the way they did things was they basically told all of the people who are the most susceptible to self-quarantine, and they basically just said, screw it, we're going to go with what is it? Hive immunity. So also what Squisher 420 says there is
Oz
actually true.
What's that?
Squisher 420 said Micah makes masks from all his sleeves. That is actually true.
That's a good idea. Lord of Dam says Oz wants that membership status. Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. I actually get a lot of people saying like they don't want a super chat, but they like to be members, like to support the channel, which is like totally awesome. So yeah, that would be cool, but it's so far off. It's like 30,000 subs. By the time
They've
I get to
actually
30,000
changed
subs,
that for some channels, though.
Yeah, I don't understand.
It's weird. Like my podcast channel, I could turn it on, and that's only about 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it's weird. They did that to Mandy Summers' channel as well, I think. They let her do membership straight away. So I
think I'm
going
going
to
to actually set that up this week.
With regard to Sweden, I think they have a different environment in that they will go along with government protocols. So when the government said to them, social distance and wear a mask and we won't shut everything down, people like actually obeyed it and did everything they wanted. So you can imagine doing that in New York, where someone like if Cuomo's just said, all right, everyone, you can go about your daily business, but you need to wear masks and socially distance, and we're going to rely on you to do it. Like, how well would that go?
Oh, not that well, that's for sure. Then again, with New York, they had a ton of problems, like putting the infected in nursing homes. So yes, let's put infected COVID patients in the one place where it could be the most deadly. It's like welcoming the fox into the hen house.
We've got I think we've got like 40 cases. Hey, I'm going to stop this feed for a sec because it's breaking up a bit. NASA's maybe something's gone wrong.
I don't know.
Brother Gay says herd immunity poofta. What does that mean?
What the heck is a poofta?
Say that again.
I said, what the heck is a poofta?
It's pronounced poofta, like as in poof, as in up in a poof of smoke.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's an Australian word for gay homosexual.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Scrotum Bagger says, Micah, you poofed. It's a great word because it's you say it to your friends and like family, and it's something you can say to kids. It's funny.
So it's kind of like for Italians whenever they say that you're a fanuc.
Yeah. Or all my Greek friends used to say punta to each other. Johnny Rando says, never caught on here. Yeah, I don't think it's even British. I think it's wholly Australian. James Hayes says, I'm not sure we're learning proper Australian speak here. Look, at least you'll know when you come here and someone says that to you, they're either angry at you or they're just saying hello. How's it going, you poofta? You'll hear that all the time. Like the friendlier the people are together.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Go get me a drink, you fucking poofta. All right. Keep your pants on, you Sheila. There's like an average conversation. Lord of Damn's in quarantine. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. How quarantined are you, Mr. Donks?
Me, not very much. And you would never have known with my hair. I actually grew it out just to grow it out back when I did. And then it just got to a point where my hair is just so thin, it looked terrible. I'm like, I'm just going to buzz it again. So, but I keep a set of clippers in my apartment, so I never really had to deal with that sort of thing. I think the worst that it got here was like the only things that were really open were like drugstores and grocery stores. And then restaurants and stuff, it was delivery and pickup only. You could not eat inside. And I think it's actually still that case here. So I'd have to look it up.
Joe K, it's like calling each other Malacca. Yeah. Malacca is a Greek word. I grew up with a lot of Greek people.
Okay.
Like, hey, Malacca! Like, especially when they're playing soccer and they want the ball passed to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Malacca! Ale, Malacca! That's all you'll hear when you're watching soccer and Greek people are playing it. Allah, Malacca. New Jersey is terrible. Wow. Is that related to COVID or just in general?
I don't know. I do know that I've seen some horror stories out of there. I was doing an article yesterday, and a local government broke up a Jewish funeral because supposedly they weren't practicing proper social distancing. And I'm like, what the hell?
Those damn Jews.
Apparently.
How dare they?
My people are just not able to, follow the government law.
Yeah. Pilgrim Media for $2 says, Oz, I have 3 feet of hair. I win, mate. Yeah, for sure.
Is it all
I had an art teacher in primary school, and he had that exact, your exact hair, Pilgrim. Yeah, really long and always braided.
There's a professional wrestler named Bianca Belair who has hair that's like 3 feet long and always in a braid. She actually uses it like a whip. I always thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I saw that on a Mobile Suit Gundam. G Gundam at one point. Like a mobile suit had like a hair whip in it or a hair dagger or something like that. I'm like, people actually do this? This is awesome. I could just imagine turning your hair into like a cat of 9 tails. I might write a
Joe K says you probably hear them say wrong here, Joe. Ella, which means common. It's like the Russian dava. Nah, it's Ella. It's like here. They're saying here basically. And then you don't say it. You don't give them the ball. They're like, Malacca. Brother Gaius says, Oz wasted money on art school confirmed. No, I said primary school. You guys do art in primary school, don't you?
Yeah, here in the States we do.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for my art classes. They showed that I suck at art, and I'm much better at writing.
Orga777 says, yeah, lockdowns here are bad, and our idiot governor is useless and evil. He also sent infected to nursing homes.
Oh, he did that too? Jeez. Yeah, that was a big thing in New York. It was like they sent a bunch of infected into nursing homes.
Yeah, because they didn't want them infecting people in hospitals, so they just put them in nursing homes. Idiots.
Yeah. And people wonder why we Americans are so skeptical of government. Then again, it's kind of part of our culture.
Orga777 says, liberal governors are evil, corrupt, and hypocritical. I expect it these days. Liberal governors, you say?
Preaching to the choir. Again, I'm originally from Chicago, where I'm used to corrupt governance.
Dark Griff Presents says, were we just talking about the Greek Ella? Yes, it means here. Yeah, I'm not lying. Lord of Damn's been fortunate to work all through the quarantine. What would you do if you had to work security like our good friend Geek Chorus?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm pretty sure that I'd have to ask some of my friends that are still working it, but I'm pretty sure all they've had, it's basically been business as usual, but they have to wear masks.
Yeah, okay. But I guess it depends, like where you're working as security, because it's so variable, isn't it?
Yeah, because when I worked for State Farm Security, they like a lot of my work was just in the security room. Like I was like watching the cameras and stuff like that. I did, I only went on patrol like once an hour. So, there wasn't a whole lot where, not so much I worked third, so there wasn't a lot where I was like interacting with people. But during the daytime, I would imagine they probably got to wear masks. The testing is probably more than likely mandatory. So,
Pilgrim Media asks, "Oz, do Australians like Americans?" Yeah. I mean, we got a pretty close relationship through war. That's we've got a shared war experience, basically. Our television content, like our mass media, is probably like, I would say, 70% American, 20% British, and 10% Australian. So it still leans pretty heavily towards American influence. People are talking in the chat about the evils of man.
Ah, yes. Gotta love philosophy. Well,
time
you don't have to.
Okay, so just so the chat knows, in 20 minutes we get the signal back from the rocket.
Oh, okay.
Oz, get Doug and Lazarus on to tell everyone how dumb they are. All right.
I think I might pass on having a conversation with Doug TenNapel personally. I got nothing. He's an oddball.
The link's in the chat if you guys want to talk about space. But I've got a moratorium on spurgatoriness. Oz, can you show that Siggy Butt brain clip? Oh, I'm not sure. The
language is pretty salty in it.
What's that?
I said the language is pretty salty, but I think that's the worst thing in it.
the lag is pretty salty. What are you
No,
talking
language.
about? Oh, no, it's not that. It's that it's a copyright issue. I don't have the same relationship with them that Liam does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not involved with them like he is, so I can't. I mean, they'd probably be cool with it, but it's not worth having to lose my show for 30 days to find out.
Yeah, no kidding. No, I thought it was interesting that when Liam showed that to me, he was like, yeah, this is the quintessential way to introduce people to Australian culture.
Yeah. Jack Ash asks, is it easy to become an Australian citizen? No, it's not actually. It's probably harder than the US. Actually, no, it is. It's much harder than the US.
Yeah.
We don't settle illegal immigrants here. We process them offshore and either keep them in detention centers or we repatriate them to a third country. So we're like really hardcore with regard to immigration here.
You keep them in detention centers, you bunch of racists.
Yeah, for like years and years. Like it's like prison camps basically.
That's worse than they have it here.
Yeah, no, it's bad. Like they've got, and they're in like third world countries like Manu Island and fucking Indonesia and all these other. We've got like an island on Australia called Christmas Island, which is like really far away from mainland Australia. And I mean, they got air conditioning and stuff and doctors and stuff, but it's still pretty like terrible. Like you still really are in prison, even if
what's it like Alcatraz or something?
It's not as bad. They don't lock you up at night, but you're stuck. Like it's kind of like a UN camp, you know, when you see those UN camps and it's just like a whole bunch of like little mini houses and people are living in them, and it's got a big fence around it. It's like that. It's a big fenced off area.
Yeah, it almost sounds like the internment camps back during the 40s.
That's it. Yeah, it's exactly like those. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So basically, we intern people that come here illegally, and if they won't go back to their country of origin, they just have to stay there until they agree to go back, unless a third party country will take them.
That's a good idea. Like, I don't think we could ever do it in the United States, though. Like,
oh hell no.
Mm-mm.
No, it'd be exactly the same as now. We'd be branded as racists. Even though if Germany was to our south, it wouldn't be, the discussion wouldn't even be going on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have close to a failed state to our south, so like,
yeah, it's very difficult to compare it to anywhere else because like we're an island, you know. And most of our coastline is extremely rugged and inhospitable. So it's not like you can just arrive here and sort of sneak into the country. It's like you actually do have to come and claim asylum, you know. You can't, there's nowhere to sneak in. So
yeah, you have like a natural Trump wall.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not really fair to compare our system with other people, but that's why we can be so hardcore, just because of our natural advantage.
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of them die in the Arizona desert from just like dehydration. Imagine if they landed in Australia somewhere in the bush. They'd be dead quick as shit.
They do occasionally, and we send out the helicopters to get them. And like, there's just no way to land and try and get to civilization because, that Trump wall has got nothing on Australia's coastline, you know, and it's full of crocs and everything.
Yeah, because our coasts are relatively tame in comparison.
Yeah, especially our northern coast, which is like obviously where you come to because no one's coming from Antarctica.
Yeah.
It's all really bad up there. Brother Gaius says lots of hoops to jump through to get into Death Island. Yeah. I mean, it didn't always used to be that way. When after Vietnam, we basically let in like thousands and thousands. Like anyone that came to Australia from Vietnam, we just said, yeah, you can stay. And so there was this mass migration of like little fishing boats and stuff with Vietnamese. So we've got a huge Vietnamese population in the north of Australia. But we're sort of, with domestic terrorism, like basically with terrorism came the new laws of no, we're not letting unfettered people into Australia. So that's essentially what happened, is that we said nah. And people kept dying trying to get here, like they're drowning.
Yeah. Imagine a shark. Oh, dude. If your boat starts to sink, you're fucked, dude. With great whites and goddamn, you're dead.
I think we had about 2,000 people die trying to get to Australia. So that's when they started to really clamp down and say, no, if you try and come to Australia, you're not going to end up here. You're going to end up in an internment camp. So, yeah, it's pretty hardcore. Pilgrim says, could I stay for a month? Yeah, you can get a 12-month visa. You can come and stay for 12 months. If you want to stay longer, I think you've got to get a working visa, a working tourist visa, which is a bit harder. It's the visa situation is pretty much the same as the US. Like, you guys probably don't know what it's like to visit the US.
No, I kind of live here, so yeah.
Yeah, so to visit America is actually like, you do have to jump through quite a few hoops, and you have to pay quite a lot of money just to get a visa.
Oh, wow.
It's like $300 or something to get a visa to go to America. So it's not, yeah. America doesn't really like foreigners that much coming, even from places like Australia.
Well, yeah, in some ways our immigration system is fairly strict, but there's so many hoops and stuff like that it just doesn't, we have just a ton of issues.
I don't know.
Adrian Mercado says, where's Liam? Yeah, where is he, son of a bitch?
I have no idea. I can check and see if he ever DM me back.
Al Bundy. Al says, Europe has the other model. Everyone can come in and throw away their passports, use a fake name and origin, and get welfare for life. Oh, poor Europe. They're in a bit of a bad state.
Well, I think that all started with Libya. Like, we took out Libya, and then like everyone could just like go up through Libya into Europe. Like, we're kind of like to blame for that too, because Libya like used to hold back like migration and shit.
Yeah,
when they killed Gaddafi.
You're actually correct, Berserk. I'm very proud of you for your knowledge of international politics.
I try. Well, I hate Clinton, and she is a major part of that deal.
Yeah.
And I kind of did like Gaddafi. Like, he wanted to go off the dollar and get a gold dinar, and we killed him for it. And he's got a big ass underground reservoir too. It's like the biggest in the world. It's fresh water. We might have did it for that too.
Victor says, does Australia have Mexicans?
That's a pretty long way for somebody to immigrate to.
We don't have a huge Mexican population. More Spanish, I guess Portuguese.
I was going to say,
we're really far away from areas.
Brazil, maybe?
Yeah. It's mainly Asia. We're in Asia, essentially. So that's where a lot of our immigration comes from.
But what happens if they're on a visa and don't leave? Like, they just stay there. Like, that's what happens in America a lot. Like, they just like don't go back until they're forced to.
Yeah, I mean, we do have that problem, and that is a problem, but it's much less of a problem because our population is so much smaller that it's a lot easier to find these people. And our cash economy, although it's strong, it's nothing like the US cash economy. So, I mean, you don't need a social security number to work here, but generally you do need a bank. Lord Craig Speck says, Oz, Risey is pissed you went on early. Sorry about that, Risey.
I don't think he could add to the conversation earlier though. So I don't know. Maybe he knows a lot more about space than I do. So
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know much, but I like it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that new SLS rocket is fucking retarded, dude. Boeing is a piece of shit company, dude. It's like a $2 billion rocket now. It's not even complete, and they're using like the old F1 engine, I think, from the space shuttle, and they're just gonna dump them in the ocean. I think they're using it to launch that space station around the moon, but that got delayed again. Like, I don't know. I think the only thing we have left is Elon. Elon is not a jobs program. You have to actually work. Like, he doesn't care if you're a senator's son. That's what's going on with NASA. NASA's just a fucking jobs program, dude. I love NASA, but I don't know what happened to it.
Orga 777 is predicting the collapse of Western Europe very soon. You heard it here first.
You might be right. If everyone leaves the euro, maybe.
Yeah, there's definitely some goings on with the European Union. I'm curious to see how long it's going to last.
I didn't think it would last this long. I gotta pee.
Yeah, I admittedly haven't really paid much attention to it. It's just been, domestic stuff for me.
What do you mean?
No, it's mostly what I cover whenever I'm working, is I'm like talking just purely about stuff that's going on in the United States. So I don't really pay much attention to the international affairs.
Mr. Dong says, it's what it is. As Australia shows, there's no real reason why there are so many non-citizens working freely in America other than it's what the society desires. Yeah, I think so. I mean, America's different again in that they're built on a land rush, they're built on the immigration rush. So it kind of needs to continue for the population to increase, I guess. It's just difficult when you get areas that are close to the immigration border that, America starts looking like Mexico. And that's what you're trying to avoid, because people are trying to leave Mexico to come to America. They're not trying to leave Mexico to come to Mexico.
Pretty much.
It's really difficult to balance that out. Antonio de Guido says, when I traveled to Australia, the cops harassed me about why I was there. I think he thought I was a drug runner. Well, were you running drugs?
Were you running around with a shirt that said, I am a drug runner?
Were you like, was people giving you cash and you were handing them out like packets of sugar? Like, why did they think you were a drug runner? Yeah, I mean, Jack Ash says, who knew that asking about becoming an Australian citizen would spark a 20-minute talk? Well, that's what happens on streams. You never know. This Rocket Sip, no. This guy's teeth are social distance.
Yeah, he's got a wicked gap there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like room for another tooth.
Yeah, I know. I actually thought that he had like one missing or something, but I don't know if that's the case. Maybe he's just got a wicked gap.
Yeah, I mean, they are front teeth. They're both front teeth.
I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Let me listen. Let's see if he's got a lisp.
Up front, and a great team that works on that. Great. Now, getting an acquisition of signal is a very significant moment. Can you tell us how it works and what we should expect to see for this mission?
Yes, that's a very important moment. And sometimes you'll see a spectrum graph that's a couple squiggly lines on the bottom, and what you expect to see is a peak in the middle come up, and that's what you call the carrier signal. And the carrier signal is described as a carrier because
yeah, it's very slight, very slight.
They're interviewing a guy about what a carrier signal is. This is your science dollars at work, people. They couldn't find anyone without any personality to carry the show.
I just wonder if do you remember the Shirtgate controversy by chance, Oz?
Shirtgate.
Yes. When we landed I think it was we landed something on a meteorite. I don't remember what. And some sort of observation robot. And the scientist who was the head of the project at NASA was wearing a quote-unquote problematic shirt. And the media basically roasted him for it. So I wonder if maybe there's just a rule at NASA now that you can't wear anything fun.
Was it like a Hawaiian shirt or something?
It was like a bowling shirt, but it had women on it.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so I wonder if now there's a rule like at NASA. Yeah, you can't wear anything goofy like that. You have to be boring.
Your boy Zach just released a video. It's angry SJW comic pros brand the comic book industry as a miserable place to avoid like the plague. It's a terrible title, Zach. Angry SJW comic pros brand the comic book industry as a miserable place to avoid like the plague. Okay.
Yeah, that's Richard for you.
Best title ever.
I love the guy to death, but man, titling things is not his forte.
Victor says, Ozart, I got a scheme to make money. We just got to catch Zombie Nomicron. I think there's a reward out for him. Is there?
Get on it.
Shit, if there's a reward, we got to get on this. All right. What was his real name again? Do any of you remember?
No.
Maybe
Ethan would know. God. He exposed that motherfucker.
A little out of the loop. Who is Zombie Nomicon?
He's the Australian guy that works with Preston Poulter.
Oh, that guy.
He's the scammer that was selling tickets to Australians to go into space.
That's hilarious.
And he was starting all the rumors about CG too, like baseless shit. And then now they're like tearing them apart and like tearing apart their own people.
Well, him and Poulter had this scam where they were going to strip people of their IPs, and so people would send in their best work and they'd pay someone to do a book, but then they'd own all those other ideas. And Zombie Nomicron, once all the ideas came in, scammed Poulter locked him out of the website. So he's taking control of all the IPs himself.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. What's going on? Do we have...
It's NASA. We're lucky if it gets there now.
A slice will be waiting for indication of acquisition of signal. Ace copies.
Well, I think 2026 is when they're supposed to pick up the samples or something. Like they're going to have something to pick up the samples. I don't think they can shoot it in orbit without like another mission or something.
I thought they had the rockets on board the.
No, that's just for landing. I'm pretty sure that's just for landing.
But I've seen their animation when they shoot the little samples off. Is that a different robot?
Maybe it's just getting them in orbit, and then they pick them up in orbit. I don't know. And then like swing
it
back.
may have planets aboard. They may have fucked up. We may be seeing the death of the rover here.
Yeah, dude. I don't trust NASA for shit, dude. They didn't show the vacuum engine light, and then they went right to that animation, and they took away the altitude meter, and the speed meter too. Right when they cut to that animation.
Ma'am, Reggie signed report initial acquisition.
Unless they're just slinging it into using it for gravity assist right now for separation.
Flight nav.
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah.
I'd say they're clapping about something.
We're seeing one way down.
They're all having a heart attack.
Didn't copy nav.
That's right. NASA trolled me.
AOS at
bastards.
131531.
Well, let's hope it works, but I mean, just hitting Mars is extremely hard. Like, I don't know how many missions missed Mars. Like, you have to be precise as shit. Like, only 7 of our missions actually landed on Mars. Out of 20, something like that.
Yeah.
Flight telecom, I was about to pull up my continuation.
We now have an acquisition of signals. Rumbles now are of claps and cheers, and it's an amazing moment. And the years of blood, sweat, and tears from every person who worked on this mission is now realized as Perseverance makes its way to Mars. Now, if we still have Adam here, Adam, I want to know your reaction to getting the acquisition of signal.
Well, Raquel, it's very nice to have the spacecraft in a safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice that it's safe.
Well, they
Thank
should
God.
show the orbit.
Maybe someone like me was in charge of the buttons. That's why it took them so long to get the signal. It was like, hang on a sec, let me have a look.
5 minutes later.
All right, let me have a look at this Australian scam artist. Who's really behind the fake Aussie space.org? I don't know. George Soros, probably.
How can he even be out of jail? How much money did he scam from Australia? He should be in jail for 30 years or something.
Well, apparently he was scamming Americans, not Australians. It was $42 million.
Holy shit.
Holy hell.
The Australian government was probably thank you. Thank you for your bank account.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't find it. Why is no one paying attention when when Ethan talks?
I can't say.
Australian scam artist. Got any new art yet?
Preston's working on some stuff, but he'll probably have another 4 pages, I think he said, done before the weekend's out. And that'll put us, God, I'm trying to think here. So it'd be 12 pages penciled. Yeah. So not bad. He works fast too.
I don't know how people can draw that fast, man.
I don't know either. But for Preston specifically, he's been a professional artist for around a decade. And even then, Liam's artist, Odie, can do 3 a day, but he actually broke his wrist once doing it.
Oh, he should slow down a little bit.
Yeah, you have to tell him to. It's kind of funny. He loves what he does, though. And that there ain't nothing like making a living off loving what you do.
He's good too.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
How does he have that much time to draw that many pages and work out like that? Like, what the fuck?
I don't even know.
He's going into the military for 9 months.
Uh-oh. What's Liam going to do?
Probably make him draw in the evenings. You can dig ditches during the day and draw my pages at night.
Exactly.
So you're only 21. You can do it.
Well, they might not let him. Like, military's different.
Yeah, I don't know what
Has
the
anyone in the chat
military is like.
mentioned his name yet? Scam artist, tickets to the moon, maybe?
Somebody said that it was a
I thought it was just a space.
the Star Walker scam.
Star Walker. Okay. No. No. Here we go. Star Walker reality show accused of being a sham. Nope, that video's been removed.
Preston's at work flagging videos. Like, testify.
It could be, like, this dude could be flagging everyone's videos.
It was only, it was only a matter of time until somebody outscummed Preston.
Yeah, but Preston found him.
That's what I find funny about it. It's like,
It's like a circle of bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how unlucky is that? Like, that he's found Preston of all people.
He's
Jonathan
an easy target.
Okay. So,
I was waiting on John De La Rose to turn on him personally.
I think.
You did?
Yeah, I think they just had a massive falling out.
That's hilarious. I know that they also had a falling out with Phil Cummings as well.
Does he go on Doug's streams? Because I don't watch Doug, so
I have no clue. I don't watch him either.
I can't stand him. Something about Doug, dude.
It's the smug.
Yeah, like, oh. I hate that kind of shit. It's like, he acts like he's like above everyone, dude. It's just, like, that's the kind of person that gets into politics and then ruins people's lives because they think they're superior.
Well, he just kind of ruins people's lives with bad advice.
Yeah, poor Mike.
Mr. Dong says John De La Rose already turned on everyone in anti-CG well before this. Really? I don't pay attention to those guys anymore, so I wasn't quite sure how that was all going to go.
Yeah, but, like, there's enough CG streams to watch. Like, I wouldn't, like, why would I go watch them?
And all they do is talk about Ethan all day anyway.
Yeah, it's weird. He's a hot topic. And I don't know why. Like, just let the fucker do his thing. Like, Jesus.
It's the cancel culture attitude. People are not allowed to have success if they don't, fit somebody's idea of what should be. And as such, they must be destroyed. And if they're not destroyed, they're going to bitch about it.
Yeah, ask Testify. Last stream, he's like, I'm going to, like, cancel your work and shit and your career. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I thought he was in War Campaign. Like, Jesus Christ. And then he's like saying he's going to cancel Oz's stream and shit in like a couple weeks. I'm like, when the fuck has War Campaign ever talked like this? Like, never. Like,
they kicked him out though.
Well, the other D Live show that I watched, they like brought him back, and like Bro said something on his Twitter about it too. Like, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe they just kicked him so like he can just spurg out on everyone. They don't have to take responsibility. I don't know.
No clue. I kind of socially distance myself from those guys. But then again, they kind of burn that bridge with me. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't get it. Whatever. Fuck them.
Yeah, they're bringing up how Dirtworm kicked George Alexopoulos while he was down. I did watch that. That was the advice he gave to George was some of the worst I've ever seen. Like he was basically giving him advice that would lead him to ruin.
I don't know. Didn't he tell him to go flip burgers or something?
He said go work at Starbucks and start and work for free. And I'm like, I don't like George at all. He's not a very nice guy, but at the same time, he's a fairly talented artist. He should be be getting paid for his work. And yeah, it's just one of those things where Doug just never gives out good advice. I mean, I showed it on Liam's show. He apparently, at least according to Martina Markova's old artist, apparently he advised them to when it came to trying to fuck up her Indiegogo campaign. So that's a thing. He never really gives people advice that actually builds them up or helps them to succeed. He gives them advice that keeps them miserable, so they're always on his side.
Yeah, it's like a horrible girlfriend, like she says, "Oh, you'll never be anything," just to keep you under her thumb,
Yep.
Like your dreams that don't matter, like that kind of shit.
Brother Gaius says military service is mandatory in Greece, confirmed by the first article that pops up on Google. See how fast that was, Oz. We'll try running a show at the same time, darn you. And also try and find that guy, because I found him, but he's I can't see anything about a reward, Victor. I'm sorry.
Maybe Preston put out the reward. Like, give me his address or something. I'll teach him all.
That whole group of dudes was kind of destined to fall apart anyway, because they don't really create anything. They're wholly devoted to destroying things.
Tobias Tade says, if Preston's involved, it means everyone else makes money except Preston.
I think it's funny for his mom.
That's so funny. Search space program Nolan TV reality. All right, but does that have that there's a reward out on him? Like, I know. Okay.
I'll look at it.
5 minutes later.
Just brings up Interstellar for me, so that didn't work.
The movie?
Yeah.
Shit. That was an awesome movie. Love that shit.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, oddly enough. I'm kind of behind on my Christopher Nolan stuff.
All right. McConaughey's the best, dude.
Yeah, I really liked him on True Detective.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's a little trippy and out there. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but you have to keep an open mind, and the ending's a little weird. But I mean, they have the right path for humans, that we can evolve and be better and reach the stars and that kind of shit. We don't always destroy things. Well, you just gotta watch it. It's really good. I mean, basically, we're just at the beginning of space right now, so
that's the end of the show. NASA's just ended it.
What?
Successful launch.
They barely showed any images though. Like, what happened to their camera feed? I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like SpaceX does
something about the Earth being round.
Well, they're slingshot in it. I think they're using like a gravity assist before they can launch to Mars or something. I don't know. But they didn't show anything. They didn't show their like orbit trajectory or anything. Like they just cut it off after the vacuum engine like didn't start. Hopefully it worked, but
they got 6 months. It's a 6-month round trip. Well, not round trip. 6 months there.
yeah. Well, I think we're like at the end of the window too today. So, like, if they didn't launch today, it would be like almost impossible.
Victor says, I got my sunglasses and steel blue black boots and workout gloves. I mean, Omicron is my man. He ain't getting away from me. Is that a reference to
the Big Boss
Bounty
Man
Hunter guy?
So one thing I can actually correct myself on, I guess, since I'm still playing Mr. Dongs. The whole thing with Martina is that it took them forever to get her a script, like an actual script for the book that she had commissioned. And then when she actually saw what they were putting together, it basically was not even close to what she had told them to do. So she ended up she got rid of them. So it was that not whatever it was that you had put together. And then the rest of it you got right is that she could actually hire competent artists instead. Because now Von Klaus is doing the writing.
One day Martina will be on my show and we can ask her in depth.
Yeah, ask her. She'll probably come on and talk.
Jack Ash is a real cynic of everything space travel. All right, for those of you that didn't see, we'll show you the earlier crash, the rocket crash that was filmed earlier today. So this is live from NASA this morning.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
They had a sperg at the wheel, and it all went wrong.
Brad doesn't even know you're live.
I don't know. Who knows? He should have gone on 1 minute before me.
He started weird. I don't get what his like objective is. Like, why does he hate you so much? Like, it doesn't. I can't figure that guy out.
He hates all of us, Oz, Liam, and myself.
I think he hates me too.
Well, yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah, pretty sure I exposed that bitch. Or I brought like him to people's attention, like, because I like watch everyone's stream. Like, I watch Az for a while and shit. Like, he was on Az's stream, like, just like spurging out. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I just want to watch a fucking show, not hear his bullshit.
Oh, now I get what me is saying. I'm aware of what like Maz's background and the writer too. They're both Groypers. He was telling it from their perspective. I know Martina's perspective. So.
All right, for Lauderdam, I'll leave that in my cache. He says, please show that clip every time he shows up. All right. Every time I see him in the chat, I'll play that. But he's not coming back on my show for 3 weeks. 20 days, everyone.
That's when he's going to end you.
Yeah.
What a creep. Like, he's just creepy, dude. Like, and like, he always comes in doing a different rose shtick. I'm like, dude, just be yourself, or like figure out something you want to like play as. Like,
that is him. He's always acted like that.
It's like, have your own personality. That's like the weirdest thing to do. Fuck him.
Yep. Agreed.
All right. Mr. Wonderful says, I thought you made a new video about... Yeah, I've got so many videos that are just sort of almost done that I really got to finish them. And then I'll...
Has anyone figured out why they were saying Sketch was dead? Like, I saw that. Like,
yeah, what was that about?
It's just more spurging for attention.
I guess.
Yeah. All right, everyone. I'm going to play my intro so you can all enjoy it for one last time. And I hope you enjoyed the launch that I prepared for you today. I hope you had a good time. I may stream later on tonight. It just depends on how the work I'm doing goes. So, but if not, I will see you tomorrow. We have a special guest. He's in the audience at the moment, I believe. So we'll have a chat to Gigadeath and see what he's up to. Otherwise, thank you for stopping by, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the launch.
good stream.
Yes.
Peace.
It's the Astro, bringing my love from me to you. The Astro, help me help you to help me help you. The Astro, bringing my love from me to you. The Astro, help me help you to help me help you.